give some background on you, where you live currently, and what's inspiring you to throw your hat in the race?
Well, let's start with the first of the questions, or the last of the questions, I should say. Let's start with the last of the questions is why I'm in the race. And that's because we aren't, we, the people of the 23rd district, are not being appropriately represented by our current congressman. And,
Hmm.
and I dearly like for someone a little bit younger than me, maybe a lot younger than me, to be taking on this mantle, but no one seems to want to step up.
Yeah,
I,
because how old are you right now?
I'm 81.
81?
81.
Gotcha.
And I'm in good health and whatever, but that by definition probably means I'm a one-term congressman. But
Hmm.
the real objective is getting the current congressman out of his job. Let him retire with a primary.
Gotcha. So tell me about your background. I believe I saw that you lived in a Owego area, and tell me about kind of what in your career has led you to this moment, made you think you have the experience that lets you want to run.
Yeah, well, I don't. I'm not a politician, but I am 25 years old. I've been a citizen of the United States for 7 years, and I live in the state which I would represent. So the Constitution says I'm eligible. I'm qualified. You may be as well.
Yeah.
So um, my whole my whole working life, I spent as and I shouldn't say the whole life, but from college on, I've been an engineer
Hmm.
and an engineering manager. I worked for IBM here in Owego,
Yeah.
and through its evolutions, it's now Lockheed. So I had for a short period of time there, I worked for three different companies and never changed my desk or secretary. You know,
Oh, that's
but
fun.
yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, what about Langworthy? I mean, you said you share parties, but I know you touched on it a bit on the website, but put it into your own words. What about his, um, his record and what he's demonstrated while in office makes you want to unseat him, as Republican?
Well, he's not behaving as what I would call a moderate or traditional Republican.
Hmm.
He seems to be wedded to our current president, who's working his way step by step and day by day towards being a dictator, and that just isn't the way I think the country should be going. Langworthy has, made zero protests about the things that are going on in Washington, and endorsed several of the what I would call illegal actions. I mean, and the courts have agreed. Among other things, early on he was endorsing the extraordinary renditions of people that the court said shouldn't leave the country, and it's just just wrong. He's on the ultra right side, and he's making no protest against the what I would consider rather authoritarian and vindictive actions of our current president.
Yeah, so get into that a bit more of what you kind of see as what you want to represent, like more traditional republicanism versus, what you're seeing right now and how you would kind of exercise that difference.
Right. Well, uh, from my viewpoint, the traditional Republican is a person who's focused on three objectives, and then those the objectives of government: a fair marketplace, a safe community or communities in general, and a stable future. Um, and within those things, there's fiscal conservatism, um, a hand up instead of a handout, but while protecting the vulnerable people of the world. That kind of stuff that the party has been known for, and is seemed to have been abandoned by the current ultra right wing, the MAGA folks.
Mhm.
And I'm not sure I tar Langley with the MAGA brush, but he certainly acts like he's part of that group, and they've abandoned the middle. There's not don't even they won't even talk with the other party
Mhm.
about important issues that everybody agrees are important issues. There's nobody that's going to disagree that healthcare is an important issue, but they don't want to talk to anybody else about it, and they don't have a solution. So I'm just very frustrated with the ultra right.
Mhm. Yeah, and how would you how would you carry yourself and represent the area, in DC or beyond, the district? I'm curious what issues locally you think should get a spotlight, given your experience and given, your residency in the area. Like, what do you think Washington needs to hear about when it comes to
Well,
these issues?
I don't think it's any secret that affordability is the big issue, and both parties agree, and I'm saying that's got to be our first priority, and you can't do again, you can't do that alone. You have to be able to talk to the other side and come to an agreement that this is how we're going to go about fixing it. We agree on the problem, and that's the first step. Once you get that past that, you got to agree on how you're going to fix it. And probably nobody's going to be super happy with whatever the reason, whatever the real solution is. But you won't get there unless you talk with everybody's talking.
Mhm.
The next big issue, as far as I'm concerned, is in terms of what has to happen in Washington is worry about and do something about um, opportunity. One of the things that's frustrating most of the voters, in terms of, you know, of the, the people who have been protesting and probably the guys many of them who elected Trump are going to be saying, I haven't been recognized. Nobody's, and all I'm doing is looking forward to something place where my kids are going to be less well off than I am. And we got to fix that. That's that's uh, that's the big. Those are the big issues, and then of course healthcare is standing right there too. So, I mean, that's the low hanging fruit actually, but we got to deal with those three things.
Mhm. Yeah, and what have you heard among, talking to people as you're starting your campaign? What are you hearing from people you talk to and your interactions with people in the district?
Excuse me. As I told you, I've got COVID here, and I'm just
Oh,
about.
no problem, no
I'm
problem.
gonna,
I'm coming
I,
over a cold too, so I understand. It's that time of year.
yeah. Well, I'm pretty sure you can't catch what I've got through the ether here.
Hopefully.
Uh, your question again was.
Just when you're going out and talking with people in the district and starting a campaign, what are you hearing in terms of, what their needs are and what are you hoping to address with that?
Oh,
And
it's those same three things.
yeah.
Everybody's talking about those same three things. There's not,
Mhm.
and and there are different ideas in terms of how to solve them. I'm listening. Uh,
Mhm.
I'm, I'm 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 open to some immediate fixes as well as some but I really want to see long-term fixes. And that's going to take that's going to take again, it's going to take people in the middle, both sides talking to each other and coming to an agreement in terms of how to go about it.
Mhm. And yeah, I mean, your website talked about a lot of your issues pretty clearly, I thought. Um, when it comes to like Langworthy and the current administration, they're talking about how like his most recent post on Twitter is the economy is growing and faster and stronger, and
Yeah, yeah.
they might kind of push back against you talking about there not being enough done about affordability. What would you say to that, to people backing the current Republican
Yeah,
establishment, that such as that you're running against, saying that we're actually doing a good job on these things, we're working towards these things? Kind of what would you say is
I'm saying that they're not really talking to the people who are suffering. Yeah, you can look at the numbers. I mean, I have looked at the numbers in terms of the economy, but we're going to get a little wonky here. But we're in a the rich are getting richer and the poor are getting poorer. And in general, the economy is doing better, but not for the people at the bottom.
Mhm.
And that's what we got to fix. Um, and you know, I'm a member of the fire department locally here, and as well as the emergency squad. I'm not running calls right now, obviously
Mhm.
because I'm sick, and uh, it doesn't matter. But I talk to a lot of folks of the whole spectrum of economics in terms of how people are doing on their own. And I haven't heard anybody that believes that their grocery prices have gone down. You know, gasoline prices locally haven't been too bad. They're up, but not, what? Groceries are terrible. Healthcare, insurance stuff, out of the, it's going out of this world in terms of come January 1st here. And January's premiums are going to be way out of line from what we
Mhm.
had to pay. And people recognize that. I mean, so what I'm saying is, yeah, yeah, you can claim that your things are doing well, but when it really comes down to the people who are in the trenches who are actually trying to make a living and get by day to day, it isn't helping them. It isn't working.
Yeah. So what municipality do you live in exactly?
I live in the town of Owego,
Town of Owego. Gotcha.
just outside of the village, and just I'm within a stone's throw of the village.
Gotcha. All right.
Um,
Um, yeah, I'm trying to think of any other things I would want to get from you. Anything else that we haven't touched on that you think is important for people to know about you, or something
well,
that
yeah, in terms of the message I'm trying to get out is we won't get to Langworthy unless I can get to a primary, and I can't get to a primary unless I get some volunteers to help me. Um,
Mhm.
the Republican establishment that is all I've written letters to every county Republican committee, saying I'm in the game and I'm looking for help, and I have heard from zero in
Mhm.
return. Not unexpected, but it shows that the current establishment is not interested in a primary for their current candidate, whom I think is vulnerable. I think the Democrats are going to put a very a very good opposition up this year, and
Mhm.
it's in this very very red district. May not be as red as people think, in terms of their frustration with Langworthy right now. So I'm looking for people to help me in terms of, especially come March,
Mhm.
getting petitions signed so I can get into a primary. That's the big deal.
Yeah. So how far are you off to qualifying for the primary at the?
Well, you're not by state law. You can't pass any petitions until the very last few days of February through the month of
Oh, okay.
March.
Gotcha.
So I can't do a thing about that. I've got a couple, three people who are saying, yeah, I'll carry a petition for you, but I need 1,250 signatures. That's a lot of people, and you can't. I'm not going to get them in Tiger County, so we got to work on the other counties as well.
Mhm. Yeah. So you're actively working towards
Oh
getting.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
we're working that out, and that's one of the reasons I'm so forthcoming on my website. I really want people to know who I am and why I'm doing this. It's not because I want to be a congressman, other than I think I'd be a better congressman than one we got,
Mhm.
and it's really that simple. I mean, if not me, who?
Gotcha. Yeah. Um, yeah. I mean that was a good overview. I mean your website tells me a lot of things very clearly. Is there anything else that you think is important to know at this juncture?
No, no, that I'm pushing the website because that's the way to introduce myself. I'm happy to talk to people, for sure.
Gotcha.
I don't want to be spreading what I got. That's a different
Yeah.
thing. But I'm almost over. Another
Yeah.
couple of days, I don't think I'll be contagious. So
Yeah. And are you a lifelong resident of the area, or when did you?
Well, I was born in the Buffalo area.
Okay.
Went to high school in the Geneseo area. Went to college in Rochester, and I've worked all my life since college in
Hmm.
Tioga County. So
Gotcha.
the answer is I am a Western New Yorker, and I really understand what's going on. I come from a large family, so
Yeah.
we you know we I get to see all of the trials and tribulations
Mhm.
and and frustrations that they've had with government.
Yeah. So you have, connection to kind of both ends of the district then. Yeah.
Absolutely. I have a lot of family that are still in the Buffalo area.
Hmm. Yeah. And do you know what year it was that you moved to Tioga County? Just to
Yeah,
get.
I graduated college in 1967.
Okay. So since the 1960s, you lived in Tioga County, and then
Yeah.
yeah,
I,
very
I,
good.
I have this, first few years, this whole annual catalog of stuff that happened, started to work and away we go. My wife,
Yeah.
etc.
Uh,
Right.
yeah, my parents did, my grandfather worked for IBM, but then my parents did some summer work in the Endicott factory, so we still have some of the IBM like merchandise and everything from there.
Right.
We've got the Think sign on our wall back in my parents' house and
Right.
everything.
Right.
So, yeah,
IBM is a good company. I mean, it's evolved, but they were a good company to work for.
yeah, it's a shame. It's a shame it went down the way it did, kind of, you know. But I think there's a lot of people, especially Broome County, that just kind of endlessly nostalgize over it rather than trying to, celebrate new things. But
Right.
it's something we gotta work on. But
Yeah.
because I'm from Maine Endwell School District, so
Oh, okay. All right. So you're familiar with what's going on, and you know
yeah,
that Tiger County is just recently in the 23rd. I mean, the
yeah, it's that
past
it's
few years.
changed up, yeah, all the redistricting and everything, yeah.
Right. Well, I'm trying to do as many town halls as we can. I'm really, really pleased to do town halls with the Democrat opposition.
Hmm.
Uh, Aaron Geese, who's, we don't, Aaron Geese and I have met each other. We've talked to each other. We're willing to tell town halls together and have a civil dialogue. That's
Hmm.
really what's needed. We've had one town hall, and then we had another scheduled in South Wales, but that got canceled because I got sick,
Hmm.
which is is really too bad. I was looking forward to it.
Do you have another one coming up soon?
We don't have one scheduled, but we
Okay.
but we will. And
Yeah, just let me
yeah,
know. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. We'll do that.
All righty. Well, thank you for taking the time. I'll let you know if I have any other questions or anything, but I appreciate it.
Sure, sure. Anytime.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the way we
Good.
get the word out is talking with folks like you. So
Yeah. So I don't
that's
know if
the
we're gonna do one in, and it'll probably run in both the Penny Saver and the Morning Times because it's the same owner for both the papers. But we'll figure out if we're doing you know, one piece per candidate or kind of one big piece that's a rundown of all the different people who have announced. But uh, I'll let you know hopefully when that gets figured out, and
right.
then
Well,
any time in the future we'll do a follow up when we get closer to the primary and everything.
right. Well, I'm presuming you got my name from that opinion piece that I submitted.
Yeah, yeah, we
So,
got
right.
kind of tipped off to that. Yeah,
So there's a bunch of them out there. All
yeah,
right. Well, it's really nice chatting with you.
yeah.
I'm looking forward to it. Doing it again sometime.
All right, sounds good. Well,
Would you like me to send you a copy of what I've recorded here?
yeah, that would be great. I have a local recording, but sometimes the Zoom recording is a better quality. So,
Right. You want just audio or do you want audio and video?
just audio should be fine.
Okay. We'll
All
we'll
right.
send it to you.
Well, thank you so
And
much.
if it's too big to email, I'll put it on my website and give
Google
you a link.
Drive or something. Yeah,
Yeah, give you a link to it.
yeah. All
Okay.
right.
Yep. Have a good night
All right. Have a good
and
night. Thank you.
happy New Year.
Happy New Year, and stay safe from all the snow if you have to go anywhere.
Oh, I'm looking out my window right now, and it's coming down.
It's yeah,
It's coming
yeah.
down, as you well know. It's we're probably getting an inch an hour right now.
Oh yeah.
Okay.
They said on the news last night that anywhere from it could be up to 2 to 3 inches an hour at some point. So it's like,
Right. Yeah.
all right, yeah, just be
Okay,
careful.
Jay.
All
Bye.
right, nice to meet you. Have a nice day.